On March 2nd, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk announced his plan to create a new city called Starbase in what is now Boca Chica Village, a tiny, unincorporated community of about 30 homes, located next to the southernmost beach in Texas. Musk's tweet and his updates encouraging his followers to move to the Brownsville, South Padre area has created a surge of interest in local real estate, mostly from outside buyers.
We probably will not see anything like this in our lifetime. Who knows if Brownsville will ever have an opportunity like this again? We certainly haven't in the past.
But while many in the state welcome the increased investment and jobs, some in South Texas worry that SpaceX's expansion will come at a steep price to the local people and the environment.
They, in effect, have shut down me personally and economically.
They nickeled and dimed us to death.
SpaceX did not respond to multiple requests for comment. The question now is, how will Elon Musk build his gateway to Mars in the face of a local backlash? The conflict centers around control of a state highway that is the only road to both SpaceX's rocket testing site and a beloved community beach. Texas Highway 4, which is known locally as Boca Chica Boulevard, is a two-lane road that stretches from the shores of Boca Chica Beach to the city of Brownsville.
After he did his tweet, it really changed things a lot.
Craig Grove has been a real estate broker in the Brownsville area for 11 years.
We get calls, like I said, from all over the United States and even outside the United States. My phone volume, I have a answering service, it's probably doubled or quadrupled. I know of properties that were on the market for a good long time that didn't sell, and now because of Elon's tweet, they ended up going for, cash offers. If even a fraction of what SpaceX wants to do happens, it's going to change the face of Brownsville. A lot of the people that live in these houses are SpaceX engineers. And then if you look behind me over here, this is a brand new subdivision that's going to be opening up. So you can see it's happening.
SpaceX has had a footprint in Boca Chica since 2012, but the aerospace company didn't begin ramping up work at the site until 2019, when it began scaling up development of its Starship spacecraft.
Starship is the largest flying object ever made.
This is the same vehicle NASA recently selected to return humans to the moon in 2024.
Best memories of my life are right here on this beach. Now I have to check if it's okay to go.
Bobby Lerma still lives down the street from the beach on land that has been in his family for 5 generations.
I would like to describe Boca Chica Beach as a paradise. This is what I want to protect. I want my kids and grandkids to come here like I did.
Until recently, Boca Chica, which sits at the edge of a national wildlife refuge, was a favorite spot for locals looking for a quiet escape. Endangered sea turtles and ocelots call the refuge home, as well as scores of migratory birds. But since SpaceX began expanding its operations in 2019, conservationists worry that the eventual environmental impact will be devastating. In just a few years, the area surrounding Boca Chica has been transformed.
I have to go through, ask permission to come to my own home. SpaceX had security of people of their own, bossing everybody around and requiring IDs and things that aren't necessary for a public highway.
An FAA spokesperson said that in December of 2020, the agency approved a request by SpaceX to increase the closure hours to 300 hours annually. He said implementation and enforcement of those agreements was a local matter. In Texas, public access to Gulf Coast beaches is a right enshrined in the state's constitution. But in 2013, Cameron County received a special exemption from state lawmakers to temporarily close the beach and the highway during rocket launches. Today, some locals say this privilege has been abused, and that the frequent highway closures have essentially privatized the beach. In a phone conversation with the Journal, Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino said, "We want SpaceX to succeed, but not at the expense of the community. If they think they'll be able to take over the highway or the beach, they're mistaken. Texas House Representative Alex Dominguez said he has filed a bill to limit beach access closures at Boca Chica, but he is working with SpaceX officials to try to improve beach access without limiting SpaceX's allowed closures. SpaceX has faced the most friction from the residents of Boca Chica Village.
Not only did they move in and change the whole tone and tenor of the place, but they began to do 24/7 construction, which meant, wall-to-wall people, cars, traffic, noise, lighting, you name it.
Cheryl Stevens was a homeowner for 15 years in the village and grew up going to the beach. Like many former Boca Chica Village residents, Stevens purchased the property, thinking it would be her retirement home.
There was no way to stay. I mean, it was just so stressful.
Over the past year, multiple SpaceX rockets have exploded, breaking windows, scattering debris, and causing fires.
I mean, it was really basically the gun to the head approach, not a lot of a negotiation on the price, and a lot of thinly veiled threats of eminent domain.
Stevens said she sold to SpaceX in late 2019 for more than $139,500, but she characterized the company's initial offers as unfair and predatory. For his part, Bobby Lerma said he will continue speaking out about the road closures.
They are kind of pesky at calling me every day about whether I want to sell, but I'm not going anywhere and I'm not be bullied by anybody. I'm going to fight back. Why? Because it is my backyard. So I have to protect my backyard because nobody else will.